apartment. Okay, subway patrols has gangs take over.
On a southbound Q train, police say that 41-year-old man who was robbed that morning didn't even know the two men who walked up to him.
So, underneath the surface of New York City's communist revolution, there's a big problem, which would be out-of-control crime taking place on the largest, worst-run public transit system in the Western Hemisphere, which the communists constantly tell us need more of everyone's taxes so that it can be free. Meanwhile, criminals are allowed to...
I'm seeing a lot of videos like this on X. Like they put like these like mirrors here, or not mirrors, like glass thing, and they just break the glass and that's it. And I think they already removed the glass. I don't know.
Plunder this place 24/7 with zero police.
Pseudo braids, I'm not joking. Siege will inevitably be necessary. It's like I said, things will not ever go back to close the closest thing as normal, which I think it will never go back anyway. But if you don't actually put any fights, any blood at all, like things don't have a slight chance of getting better.
In sight.
An MTA worker attacked.
In other words, what I think it will have to, in order to things ever can get better again, it will have to get a lot worse before you guys can ever dream of it actually getting better.
Packed on the job in Queens.
By a man who then took off on a subway car.
Seems to me like we're prey for these monsters.
There should be more security. You have to be very, very careful.
Waste of money.
New York City is trying again to stop fare evaders. They just added these pointy panels onto the gate, but I think they forgot to address that you can still slip through the middle or just crawl under.
Policing is something that does not create safety. And what we need to do is reinvest into things that are proven indicators and creators of safety.
There are no cops down here. Maybe having a couple more cops down here.
They want to hike fares up and they want to do certain things, but they can't even keep the people of New York City protected.
I think we absolutely, without question right now, have the most dangerous job in New York City. We don't feel that we're adequately protected. We don't feel that there's enough police. They're doing the best. There's enough police on platforms. We don't feel that the folks who attack us and assault us are given adequate prison sentence. Hopefully that stops today.
It's taking over? For me, it took over long ago
So,
already.
the socialists taking over New York City and America have made it no secret that having police isn't part of their plan. And nobody running this madhouse that is New York wants to admit that if you want to be a sanctuary city and you want to fund everything except police, lawlessness can only go in one direction. And that's what we're seeing in our subway system, which is supposed to be the hallmark of communism because this is public transit. It eliminates private transportation, like cars. It's great for the masses. It represents collectivism, but it also represents a security nightmare, which is why the NYPD and city officials do everything they can to downplay incidents that take place down here as they're forced to combat crime with one arm tied behind their back. And you know something? The best way for the city and its leaders who don't really like the police and want to protect criminals to say that this is the safest place ever is to just have less police. Because then the police won't be around to record all the crime that happens and hey, problem solved, the stats drop. Unless, of course, you're one of the defenseless individuals trusting in socialism to care for you as you take the train and go to a job that may not exist after a few months. Without realizing your career might get sidelined before you even show up as the career criminals on the train single you out and do their thing, which has been the name of the game in New York for years with decriminalization and a revolving door justice system that sees every bad guy as a victim and wants to release them as quickly as possible. But that brings us to the real reason the public safety situation in New York is headed off a cliff. Right now, the city's got the lowest number of police it's had in decades. And even though the mayor just passed a record budget, there was no...
I find this stuff very amazing, guys. Like, I always see, like, people in my country say, oh, Brazil is becoming... It's big. I saw today we are fucking 2026. My country is a commie country. A commie dictator country for years ago already. And I saw the news saying today that you are heading to becoming a dictator, like a totalitarian country. We already are for many years, and they are saying that. I started to laugh of nervousness, like of how angry I got, like that made me so pissed off when I saw the news. Like I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, you piece of shit? Like we have been like a totalitarian country for ages already. We are a comic country for ages already. What the fuck are you talking about?
No new money in it.
It's the exact thing that he's talking here. He's talking about New York as something that was ongoing, like something that was gonna become in the future. But it's something that is already or. The guy is late, He's too much positive. Oh, every video that I see of this guy, I like his videos. Okay, it's fine, but he's overly positive with everything. It's always like, if it's something worse, he kind of postergates it, like saying, oh, it's gonna become. No, it is. It is already in the present, It's not gonna become. It is. And when it's something is slightly that can be slightly good, for him it's like the most ultimate marvelous thing of the universe. Entirely. The ultimate shit,
For New York's finest, which is a problem because now that stealing and assault are considered misdemeanor offenses that don't result in jail time, the only hope the law-abiding have is for the bad guys to be temporarily detained, which ends their crime spree for just a few hours before they're back out on the streets and at it again. But if you listen to the communists, they'll say, we've already got too many police. They'll tell us the
They're talking about like New York, like totally unruled place on earth. It seems like everything is possible now there. Like everything. Like it seems like it's total unrestricted chaos every fucking time, every single day there. It's like it's almost looking like a parallel country or something inside US. It looks like a total different country inside US. Like it's like an invasor country in US. Trump should have been using the army long ago on them, like very long ago on them. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, and if it will take so much time. Oh my God.
The force is bloated, it's already so big. But if public safety is not a problem in New York, why are videos like the one you're about to see an everyday occurrence during people's commutes?
Stop it. Stop it.
Wow. Thank God there weren't any police around, because if there were...
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you know what? What is fun is like, if you are in a country where like this insane shit wouldn't happen, where someone has a pew pew there, a pew pew or a bang bang machine, and show it to him, he would stop immediately. He seems like a freaking insane piece of shit here. Like very crazy people, like mentally ill. But at the moment that you show a bang bang or a pew pew to him, he changed from water to wine. It's impressive. Not from water to wine, from oil, from petroleum, from oil to wine, literally.
Were police around, an officer could have escalated this dangerous situation and a crime may have been committed. You see, not having police around means nothing wrong happened here, and technically nothing happened. This guy was obviously trying to intimidate people on the train, but he didn't touch anyone. See, we don't need police at all. They don't make things safer, and that's according to the mayor's own words. And tell me if you see a problem with this.
It comes out of an understanding that policing is something that does not create safety. And what we need to
What's that more are you talking about?
do is reinvest into.
But I agree that in parts, yes, the police alone is not even close to that. Because it doesn't matter. Like, again, my country's example, like, The police here, it's always like trying to dry ice, you know? They arrest people left and right all the time, but these people don't get to stay arrested, not even one fucking day, you know? And for the most ominous crimes, they get to stay like less than 1 year behind bars. This is my country for you, okay? This is how it is here. So, many of these actually get even depressed because of that, and don't even care to work like they are supposed to. But many of them are still trying to dry ice every single day here. So it's better for you. I agree with him. Like the police officers don't fix shit alone. What does fix shit is the law enforcement that will happen after these cops arrest these people. If they will get to stay inside the jail for a long time, in preference forever, or if they will get unalived, you know, death sentences. That is what fixes things, you know? It's ruling by the example. It's making those people actually pay. It's what actually reduces the crime and increases the safety, you know? This and allowing people walk around left and right using bang-bangs and pew-pews.
The things that are proven indicators and creators of safety.
Like what?
And the city council budget did not do that. And it's just mind-blowing. They cut 1 out of 4 cadet classes next year. The head count of the police department will go up next year.
So that was the mayor back in 2020, very upset that the police force had rising numbers, as if a growing population doesn't necessitate a police force that keeps pace with it, especially during a crime wave. And I know what some people are saying, well, that video's from 2020, the mayor, he's different somehow now. He still, you know, he's changed. He's a law and order guy. He's older and wiser. Really?
I noticed that the budget doesn't appear to include any increased numbers for NYPD headcount. Can you explain the rationale for that?
Yes. So I've been talking to all agency heads about ways to find savings, and Commissioner Tisch and I were able to identify ways to keep the NYPD headcount at the originally authorized 35,000.
Which isn't enough police. It's the lowest it's been in decades. And you know what? I don't even blame the chief of police for being called into the mayor's office and being told, hey, figure out a way to not hire more cops. I mean, what's she supposed to do? If you're the chief of police of a sanctuary,
as Real said, he did change. He became a better liar. I don't think he was ever a good liar to begin with.
City,
I don't think he actually became better at it. I don't understand how people fall for that. I really don't.
Your job, even though the rest of America wants it to be your job, isn't actually to stop crime and obey the law and turn the administration around. Even though we all want to see that, your job is actually to do what the mayor says, or you're going to get fired. And the chief of police here knows that. And here the mayor is with his record-setting budget. More money than New York City has ever spent on anything ever, and $0 extra for cops. But the real problem here is while the police get nothing, the criminals in this city are able to get pretty much everything. Watch.
Money.
New York City is trying again to stop fare evaders. They just added these pointy panels onto the gate. And the idea is that it's supposed to hurt the people that try to jump over. But I think they forgot to address that you can still slip through the middle or just crawl under.
If you go like, you just go like that, and you can go under.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He'll be installing even more.
So we decided that instead of hiring police, we're going to do useless things to try and make the subway safe. We're going to put some raised edges on something that people can just crawl under. People do this all the time, by the way. It's not like crawling under is something that criminals in New York City are against. And the worst part is this behavior is justified as being perfectly acceptable. Why? Well, because New York City's expensive. And if you're doing something in a world that is too expensive for you, whatever it is, you're innocent. Watch.
It's humiliating, you know. It's either you make the decision to hop the train or eat breakfast sometimes. You have to deal with people making comments if they decide to help you. You know, everything from get a job, you loser, he's probably a crackhead. You get all these stigmas because you can't afford to pay your transportation.
Don't give me that crap. Don't give me that fucking crap.
And then you're asking for a little help.
Okay.
When you deny New York City residents access to public transportation, you limit their opportunities.
I agree with only the last thing that he said. If you're going to deny people access to public transportation, you do limit their opportunities. And you know what denies people access to public transportation? Nonstop crime that makes that public transportation so dangerous, nobody can use it. But let's look at a play-by-play analysis.
He shouldn't have such a thing as public transportation to begin with. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Okay? It shouldn't.
Of who this person actually is that just told us stealing from the train is acceptable.
Who says he can't afford the subway fare, and yet he's got a smartphone, new kicks, he looks able-bodied.
Giving power to the government never doesn't help, like, oh my God, never help with shit. Okay, giving more power to the government, like with such a things like public transportation. I live in a country of public transportation, guys, you know? And trust me when I say that shit doesn't work, okay? And even it becoming quote unquote public, it is still paid, and it's expensive and not effective. And you don't even have AC in the fucking buses in a fucking very hot states like mine, where you melt, you know, on the street, and the buses don't have freaking AC, you know, and it's so freaking expensive. And it's public transportation, you know, public transportation, fuck, okay? No, it's always less government. You don't have money to pay? Fuck you, your problem. Get a job, do something, okay? I live in a fucking poor third world country, and I always paid for every transportation service I got. Okay, you can do that in fucking US too.
And that's who you cast? One of the most unsympathetic characters you can. Like, you couldn't go out and just find, I don't know, like an elderly woman in a wheelchair, anything. There's literally millions of New Yorkers who are more sympathetic than this bum that you went with, who is basically warning you. He's like, if I can't take the subway, I'm going back to jail.
The Daily Mail says that this individual is a New York City career criminal who has been rebranded as a justice-affected individual, and who says that crackdowns on fare evaders like him are a big problem and are totally against what the mayor promised. Now, have there been some increased crackdowns on fare evasion? Yeah, there have, but here's the problem with that. All these crackdowns on fare evasion, they're a Band-Aid solution, because the real crackdown on fare evasion would happen if people got arrested and lost their freedom. Because the way fare evasion works now is if you go to a heavily guarded subway entrance and you see police all over the place, if you just cross the street and go around the corner, you may see another entrance to the exact same terminal that's got the exact same trains you want to take, and the whole thing is totally unguarded. Happens all the time, every single day when they do these highly publicized crackdowns at the Penn Station terminal underneath Madison Square Garden. They'll have bag checks at one terminal, and then upstairs, there's zero security. And the criminals are totally aware that this is how things work, unfortunately. And watch what this is doing to our police.
Yeah, very nice. So you make the life of the ones that are actually paying more difficult by checking bags of random people that just want to get to the work, and while at the same time the people that are actually getting to the trains, to the metros.
New donation of 80 from someone. I hope this helps.
Thank you, someone, for the $80. Thank you very, very, very much. You're a good someone. Thank you, someone. Nice someone. Very good someone. Thank you, someone. So these people are still getting to join the service without paying anyway, and it's just making the life of the other people terrible, more terrible, you know? The people that are actually paying, you just wanna use the service to go to their jobs. Think that actually most of those that are not paying are not even going to. Probably they are not even traveling. They are not even committing to that work, because they probably don't fucking work to begin with.
Watching.
They are probably going there to rob people.
TikToks. Watching TikToks in the patrol car. Look at that. Oh, got spotted.
Bad. You shouldn't be on Facebook. Bad, bad, bad.
And then you're gonna get late to your job, to your work day, and then your boss will look at your face, you're late, and you're gonna say, but the police officers wanted to see my bag, and fuck it, your boss, it doesn't give a shit, it doesn't care what the fuck happened, you know? You will still be seen badly for what happened. They don't give a shit to that.
Bad. You should do your job instead of being on Facebook. What? I said you should do your job instead of being on Facebook.
Thank you again, someone, for 80, oh my god,
Man,
$80. Thank you very much.
Oh, this retaliation? Oh, thank you for my safety. Oh, very good, very good. I'm sure you don't.
You know something? I feel so bad for our police. Were they?
Oh, of course it was Kryptonia, someone Jedi. Thank you, someone Kryptonia, someone Jedi.
On their phones? Yeah. Is that a good look? Absolutely not. But when they're surrounded by a sea of criminals who get arrested and released over and over again, what are they supposed to do about that? Are they supposed to arrest the same guy for the 101st time just to see him get released? At some point, they're going to give up. And although this is their fault.
By the way, that value that it's there, Kryptonia Jedi, I'm telling you because you probably don't know. I already spent like 5,000 already yesterday. I'm trying to recover what I spent, you know, but I already paid for that. And that's actually only the legal counseling. I'm spending way more than that. But if I can get to fill this bar in the next 2 months already, that's already awesome. That's already amazing. I will recover at least part of the money. Will be very good if we can do that in 2 months. I know it's a huge amount for what we are used to. I usually put like 500 per month, so yeah. But yeah, it was so freaking expensive. Thank you very much. It helps. Obviously, it helps. Any donation helps. Thank you very much.
It's also the fault of the city that employs them and puts them in this situation. We have a public safety nightmare on our hands in New York City, and nobody wants to admit it. This is what's going on everywhere. It's not like those are the only police that have ever been spotted on their phones when there is something else going on. But here's the problem. If these cops get out of their patrol vehicle and stop any crime, they've got to do some math in their head. They've got to say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the crime going on around me right now? If it's a 3 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10 crime, and I go after that, and then because we're short-staffed, if a radio call comes in and says, hey, there's an 8 out of 10 crime or a 10 out of 10 crime, we need somebody to respond to that, and I'm busy arresting somebody who's just gonna get released in a few hours for something like shoplifting, I'll wish that I had released that person so I could go to the worst crime that's happening. And that's what happens when you short staff your police. That's what happens when you refuse to fund them.
Exactly. It's what I talk to you guys always, like when we see this police cam like videos, these body cam videos, and I always see like, look at the amount of people. Did you saw that car chase in that woman? Did you saw how many cars with how many police officers were there just to arrest that fucking retard? You know? So many people there. Imagine that they could be doing like literally everything else, and all that resources were being spent on her, on that chase, you know, like that's so freaking insane. That's so insane.
Police released, you can see
that's
the two they're
always
looking
so
for walking on the platform. One is wearing a black top, the other in a white t-shirt.
No masks.
Investigators say this happened around 4 in the morning. That was on June 14th. They say a 41-year-old man was standing on a southbound platform here just waiting for a train when the two men approached him and his backpack taken. The two then took off. Now out here I've been speaking with neighbors that say they are not entirely surprised.
Why are they not entirely surprised to hear about stuff like this happening in the subway? Could it be that stuff like this happening in the subway is completely normal in New York? So normal, in fact, that the criminals don't even bother to cover their faces anymore. They are not even masked assailants. They're just out there doing their thing. They don't even care if they get spotted. Why? Because they know that if someone spots them, they know that if they get recorded, nothing's gonna happen to them. They're not afraid of the consequences for getting caught committing a crime, even though there's cameras everywhere. We got so many cameras in the subway That should stop all the crime. That's what the progressives love to tell us. They love to tell us that the raised edges on the fair evasion-proof gates that are not fair evasion-proof are going to get rid of all the criminals, and that if there is a criminal who gets around that somehow, we're just going to have a camera that catches them. But look at this video right here, these gang members running out of the subway after committing a crime. Do you notice anything happening here? Look at the guys that are over by the door. What are they doing? They're breaking into the subway using the gate to get into the subway. So we got people breaking in while we got people breaking out. It's just a disaster. No police.
An MTA worker attacked on the job in Queens.
By a man who then took off on a subway car.
It's bad. It's bad. Should be more security. I think there's a better police presence than there used to be, but it's still, you have to be very, very careful.
So the attacker who went after an MTA employee, like the gentleman you see right here, committed a crime and then escaped on the subway. So the subway was his getaway vehicle. That's wild. That shows you that inside the train, you might see police sometimes, but not all the time. This is a security disaster because these criminals have just been emboldened by a system that tells them they can do something and get away with it.
Yep, it's exactly what happened in my country. No law enforcement leads to them getting emboldened and do every single time worse than the before. Worse than the previous one, and each time they commit a crime that they get away with no jail again, they come back even more confident than before because that actually works. He doesn't get to be punished for what he do, so he gets even more confident and do every fucking time that he's released or she's released, they start to do more and more terrible stuff than previously. Like kind of testing the system to see up into where they can go without getting screwed. And for that surprise, they keep raising the bar and raising the bar and raising the bar, and there is no limit. They can murder people, they can rob, they can rape, they can do whatever they want. Nothing ceases to be enough to get them permanently arrested or receive a death sentence. And that's where the points that we are right now, you know?
And even if they get caught, they're not going to lose their freedom. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're going to get set free. They're going to be put on some path towards diversion. Perhaps this is the non-policing success programs that the mayor is talking about that we should fund, which doesn't have any examples of, instead of jails and jumpsuits. I think if we were to fund jails and jumpsuits, we'd have a lot less criminals roaming the streets.
What we're trying to do is get you home safely.
There have been at least 7 reported attacks on transit workers on buses and in
Get you
subway
home
stations
safely.
across the city since the start of the year. Union leaders say while the NYPD beefed up patrol in the subways last year, the attacks persist and more needs to be done.
They persist.
We don't feel that we're adequately protected. We don't feel that there's enough police. They're doing the best. There's enough police on platforms. We don't feel that the folks who attack us and assault us are given adequate prison sentences. Hopefully that stops today.
He's 100% right. There are not enough police on these platforms
He's
because
right. I'm making
criminals
fun
are
'cause
wandering around
I'm in
on the
that vibe
platforms
today,
doing
but he's
whatever they
right.
want. There are not enough police in the actual trains because we learned that the criminals are using the trains to escape. That is their getaway vehicle after they commit crime. And then we learned that when these individuals are finally held to account, half of what they're charged with either gets thrown out or doesn't get prosecuted. They're not in prison long enough. They just return to the scene of the crime. There needs to be real accountability. If you want to secure the New York City subway system, you could do it in 5 minutes if you would just start arresting.
And again, one point that I always like to bring back to you guys every time that I see this is the following. If we know that everything, the root of all these problems is lack of law enforcement, how did they don't know that actually? Why did you know that? Why do you think that they don't know that actually, huh? What makes you think that all that people that always so well paid for so long, and the huge amount of people that they have around them, none of them ever told them that, well, I think that if you guys, actually start punishing people, you fix all the problems. Do you guys really think that they never told that this is totally unheard of? It's something to think about. I mean, I think for us it's pretty much obvious the answer. We know that none of them has interest in fix all this crap, all this shit, you know? Because truth is that both sides have interest in this. Obviously, one side has way more than the other. But the truth is that both play with this stuff, you know? And... oh, what to say, man? What to say? We're tired to see this, you know? They will fix the... I don't know. We might actually have the solution. Vote on me because next on the next mandate of mine, I have amazing ideas that will fix your problem. No, you not. Everyone knows what we should be doing. Everyone knows, not just for the security, for the economy as well. Everyone knows that. Everyone with Vtuber cells, if me knows that, if I that know nothing, probably could fix like a lot of U.S. power, U.S. problems. If I was in power, what makes it impossible to you? That is a lot smarter than me, probably has all these graduations and blah blah blah, has a lot of capable people around you that is paid with public money, with taxpayer money to think for you. Even if you're stupid, you pay people to think for you too. You know, to know all this stuff. Yeah, how do you want me to believe that you don't know the solution for that? And that you actually couldn't fix that? It's totally out of malice. It's totally out of being evil, of being terrible, you know? It's the only fucking reason.
Every single person who jumps and doesn't pay, and you were to put those people...
why me can think of that here in this hellhole with my Vtuber cells and you guys don't? Explain that to me.
In jail, even if they were in jail for one night, right there it would stop because people are getting on the subway to get somewhere, and if they get to jail instead of where they're going, they're not going to want to do that anymore. That would eliminate most of your crime right there. And then, of course, if people engage in behavior that's been decriminalized, well, we should probably recriminalize that behavior, shouldn't we? If people are down there stealing and that's just a misdemeanor and it gets you a ticket, well, that's not an incentive. That ticket's not stopping that person.
But yeah, I'm not joking. I'm confident that I would do a better government than any of these starts that there is, including Trump.
For being a career criminal. So that person...
anyone could do that, even you guys. I bet that most of you guys here that if we were to choose randomly, probably would be difficult to get anyone that's terrible at any of these on power right now. All of us know that very well already. But we don't actually got to choose. All the options that are handed us to vote are actually already market cards. Like, we don't actually have a choice. The choice is an illusion. And people got to understand that.
Person should be in jail too. Jails are the answer. Police are the answer. If you had cops on every single platform and in every single train, the criminals wouldn't be able to use the platform as a base to plan and commit crime, and they wouldn't be able to use the train as a getaway vehicle. This is so simple. It's fascinating that nobody understands it.
The NYPD, meant to protect and serve.
I thank officers for the work that they do.
But with grueling hours, no contract since August, and uncertainty with the incoming mayor, the police union says it's time for the city to protect them.
We deserve to get paid like the professionals that we are.
The data speaks for itself. Since October of last year, 3,668 officers have left the force. The NYPD's current headcount, 33,745, a stark contrast to 25 years ago, when the force had 40,285 officers in the city.
Crazy.
I spoke with PBA President Patrick Hendry.
Police officers aren't getting their days off, their meals. They're getting forced to work overtime.
So, this report came out before the mayor came in, and the mayor told everybody, look, police, not going to be a problem. I might have said things in the past that perhaps made people question my commitment to law enforcement, but don't worry about it. I've got it. Well, how's that working out? Well, just in time for America's 250th birthday, the payments that were supposed to go out to the police who are putting in 12-hour shifts aren't going out. Is anyone surprised by that? City officials informed union leaders that cops' holiday paychecks will be sent the third week of July rather than the second as done in past years. Why is that? Are we spending the money that's supposed to go to the police on things that don't make...
Always when I see his face, I want to... I want to do unspeakable things.
The city any safer? Are we wasting and squandering the resources of this great city on a bunch of nonsense? I happen to think so. What do you think? I'll see you in the next video.
I think we will keep like drowning in a fucking sea of crap, of very creamy brown putrid crap until we all drown and die and become part of the sea of crap ourselves too. And that's it. Yeah, I just want to remind you guys to join our Discord server. You can do that by hopping on the link tree that is on the screen right now, or all the links below on the description. Through the link tree, you also find many other links to many other of my other socials, as well, like to my Patreon and Ko-Fi as well, so you can support Foxu in the goal to escape Brazil finally once and for all. Hopefully, not hopefully, because I will miss my parents, but hopefully forever. And yeah, support Fox. I avoid Vtuber at all costs because it drains all the money I receive enough and it shadow bans me, so it doesn't deserve a fucking penny. And if you can't go through Ko-Fi or Patreon, there's also the choice of subscribing on the Kick, or gifting subs there. Yeah, thank you so much for your attention in this matter. I think I will always say this right now because it sounds fun. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Let's go to the next one. Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, for the incredible support to my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-Tail Fox Tier member, the Holy Ball, and to all of my 3-Tail Fox Tier members, Wallony Wolf, Fanny Sylvie, Hit Himself, Chile Not Serious, Eustace the Useful, Zealous Isaiah, Ala Rosas, Max Tenor, Nugutino, Avery, Halcyonic Eder, and TV8. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to everyone that have been supporting me on Ko-Fi, Kick, and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. And that's it for today, my dear Foxlings. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.